Hey, everybody.
Yo.
Welcome to the Wrestling Through the Years podcast. I'm the armchair QB Dizzle, and I'm here with the Wrestling Encyclopedia, one of the biggest geniuses.
Unless he has to remember match order.
Yeah. I don't want to give you too much props this time. Make me look like a dick. But a very good smart fan, and not like a smart fan like a, like one of those smarmy people online. Just an intelligent man. My brother Dutch.
Yo. Now, do we remember? We took the week off last week. Do we remember how to do this?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the man that puts the E and everybody gets a hand job, Eric.
What's up?
How you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
Me too. And it's good to see you. We've missed you. We haven't seen Eric in weeks, and we're here to talk about Sheik, baby.
Yeah.
I saw Dog on Sunday.
Well, we're talking about on the podcast. While you were off getting your birthday butt wax last week.
Everyone loves a good birthday butt wax.
I just needed a weekend off.
And then Eric, after he got it all nice and clean on that backside, he got a SpongeBob tattoo.
The hell I did.
Should we talk some news and some current stuff? I mean, there's a big news topic right now to talk about.
Here's the thing about that. And I'm going to try to be as nice about it as possible because I feel like one of the people that defended this asshole is fucking wrong. And I know why. And he called people out and said, you can't call me that. Well, I'm not going to call it to you on air because I'll get canceled. But Mark Henry, we know why you defended Raja Jackson. Because what we're talking about, Raja Jackson attack, or you want to get into the story?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know the full story. I didn't read about it, though.
Oh, have you seen the video and the stream and stuff, Eric?
No.
Eric's completely uneducated on this, and that's fitting.
I've been focusing on I had 2 fantasy drafts this week, so I was focusing on that, and then I had cartoons to watch.
I mean, dude, it's all over Twitter and shit. It's huge right now. But yes, Raja Jackson, Rampage's son, the showstopper. How you doing, brother? He got into some trouble. He was at an indie show, and Psycho Stu, an independent wrestler at Knox Pro, Rikishi's place, the Rikishi-owned company, apparently.
Yeah.
Stu was messing with him backstage. He saw the camera. Raja Jackson's been Twitch streaming, so he's been doing that, and just like his father, Rampage. And by the way, I'm a huge Rampage fan.
Yeah,
love Rampage and MMA. Was a big fan, still a big fan of Rampage, and like anybody, like I'm not here to judge parenting and shit like that. I think. Like that's above. I'm not a morality and I don't like fucking talking about morality and shit. But I mean, what we saw Raja Jackson do to Psycho Stu was probably wrong. I mean, I think we could all agree with that. That was a bad thing. It's been world fucking news, and WWE had them in their ID program, and now they're not. Now they don't have them. They had to strip that away. And Knox Pro is probably not going to last long. How you doing? And that sucks.
Yeah.
For wrestling, for independent wrestling. But also, it's probably a good thing. If you're running shit like that, then that didn't seem like a really good operation, especially from seeing the behind the scenes and shit.
Right. And the thing is that like, Psycho Stu hit the guy in the head with a beer can. I don't know if it was full or whatever.
Yeah.
Conflicting stories. He went over and he apologized because somebody told him, it's like, he thought you were shooting. He didn't think it's a work.
Yeah.
Because Raja Jackson doesn't know the terminology. So, he went over and he apologized 3 times. Now, unfortunately, on the kick stream, people are gaslighting Raja Jackson.
I mean, you have fucking teenage kids on there talking shit. You're
Yeah.
gonna let that kid make you look like a bitch and talking all this shit. Oh, he knocked you out and all this shit. That's what they go on. I mean, you check out any of those guys if you're big into the screaming stuff. and you watch big streamers, and honestly, those are like that's celebrities now. They're like the biggest people are streaming. And you know, everybody knows Kai Cenat, everybody knows I Show Speed, especially as wrestling guys now. You know, we're very familiar with I Show Speed. And these guys are making it. And Rampage is streamed. I saw clips weeks ago of like Rampage and Raja like riffing off each other and being funny, and it's hilarious. And you know, and Rampage has always been funny, and he was like built for that. This is an unfortunate situation, and in this day and age, it was all live. It was all because that's how fucked up today is. Like you got to see it all happen live, and you saw an assault. And because if it's not a work, and I heard he's taking independent bookings. Is that a bullshit?
Danger Pro Wrestling booked him.
Is that real? Because I didn't see it like New York Post or nothing, but I saw quite a few articles.
It was a tweet by Danger Pro Wrestling, who, by the way, has already been removed from WWE's ID program as well.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, guys, like you're not. So he gets in the ring, and AJ Mana, who brought him in because he's a friend of his,
yes,
said, "You want to get some revenge on him later? Give him a receipt." Okay, cool. Well, up until that time, he had been gaslighted by everybody, calling him, pussy and all that. Time comes for him to go and do the run-in, and he is fuming.
Yeah.
And he goes in, picks him up, double leg, slams him down hard on the mat. Psycho Stu's already out.
Yeah, you see the head snap.
Yeah, he's already out. And instead of one punch, because the receipt is one punch, he hits him 27 times.
Yeah, quite a bit. Vicious ground and pound. And Stu was already out. Apparently, he was choking on his blood. Apparently, he lost a lot of teeth. And I'm just saying apparently because I don't know if I heard that from Verify, but that Doug dude, Doug Mallow, who broke the whole thing up, was talking about it. And he said that he lost teeth, facial damage, and everything. And, it sucks. And that's why you can't do backyard. I've always loved backyard wrestling. I remember doing it when we were kids. But that seemed way more background, like as Cornette calls it, outlaw bullshit, than an actual independent. Like, I don't know. Like, if I was WWE and just seeing that, of course the ID is going away because this isn't a professional thing. And Rikishi's attached to it. You got the bloodline kind of thing. Like, oh no. Like, and Rusev used to work there. And it's like, and it was like a crowd in front of like 50 people. It looked like a real, like, homegrown backyard thing. It didn't look like a professional independent show. And I know some indie shows do get spotty on the professionalism and stuff, but this would have never happened in fucking WWE. And because you have security and you have people to stop it. But this is, bringing these people, you have to educate people. And now everybody acts like they're smart and stuff to the business. And we act like every fucking other week I'm saying what I think, should have happened and shit like that. And, I don't fucking know it. If I was in charge, I'd probably flop the whole business.
Yeah.
But it's fun to talk about, damn it. But
exactly.
If I'm going to step in the ring and I'm going to be a part of something and I'm going to join somebody's job, if somebody comes to my work and joins my work, they need to know how to do the job.
Right.
If somebody's like, if you're going to let's just have him in the show. This kid's pissed off and you're going to say, hey, be a part of the show and it'll all be cool. This kid looks visibly mad. He doesn't seem to be understanding that it's a show. Why don't we pull him out of that situation and not have him? And I'm not giving any slack to him. Rajah Jackson's completely in the wrong. I will not, I'm not defending him whatsoever. You can't do that. You can't fucking assault somebody and try to kill them. That's
exactly.
what I'm saying. It's not a joke. It's not, it's real life. You can't fucking do that. And you deserve to get in trouble and in punishment. And that's how the justice system works. And, if I'm Stu, I'm pressing charges all fucking day. You do not do that to another human being. I understand the beer can. I understand all that. It does not make an excuse for that type of a situation to go down. And everybody involved in it, like I said, the company, it should be done. And I'm just one guy. Yeah. But that's just my opinion. Well, and all the anybody involved with it. I know that AJ doing the cowboy hat and the receipt. You're a fucking idiot, bro. I don't.
Well, he's already been
I know
he doesn't even have a day job anymore.
Yeah,
they called him and they said, "Hey, just so you know, you're fired." And he's like, "Why?" He goes, "Because you're an accessory to attempted murder."
Yeah, I mean, that isn't a good situation. And anybody that allowed that to happen, and and that Black Pearl or whoever, is that what he goes by? Rikishi, the guy that owns it with Rikishi, that seemed to be in the video talking to them. I don't.
Yeah.
The information's still a little spotty, but it seemed like, and he seemed like really chill and cool, but he didn't stop the situation. He ended up putting it in the ring. He had them. He's like, hey, just have them and we'll make a whole thing out of it. And I understand that old school way of thinking, but you have to then set him aside for like maybe an hour and be like, hey, this isn't real. You can't hurt him. Like this is fake. This is going to be fun. And then maybe you can come back and we could keep, doing, and you could have a match someday and it could be fake. But everything's like, and there's so much shit went wrong in that situation, and so many people are in the wrong, except for Psycho Stu and except for Doug Mallow, and except for because he's the only one that tried to break it up. Counting the pinfall is fucking egregious, and pinning the man is fucking egregious and terrible. And the show must go on. Shit, the show doesn't need to go on. I understand, and especially there. I mean, how many refunds are you really gonna have to fucking give? The show doesn't have to go on. Stop the fucking show if something real like that, just like with Owen. When something fucking serious goes down in an entertainment, if somebody got shot in a theater, we wouldn't be like, well, let's finish fucking the movie. We're not. No, we all leave and we fucking, and you let the authorities and shit deal with it and the paramedics and stuff. That's ridiculous. Nobody should have made a pinfall. The referee shouldn't have been sitting there like an idiot. And that whole situation sucks. And it sucks. It sucks that it was live, but talking about rampages, boy, see, this is what happens when you were streamed too often, let alone on Kick. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't, and they're chasing views, they're trying to stay entertaining, they're trying to, and also those guys were, like we said about the comments, getting to them and stuff, that, yeah, being live all the time, isn't always a good thing for the psyche.
Right. Now, to kind of piggyback off your point here a little bit, when Abraham Lincoln got shot in the theater, they stopped the play.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It wasn't one of those, oh, the president's dead. Oh, well, let me see here. I don't even know what the hell the play was. They said, like, all right, well, come on over here and give me a big smooch. Let's finish this scene. No, you get the hell out of there and you try to find the fucker that just shot President Lincoln.
And like I said, because this is live and kind of what I opened with, and I'll put a bow in it with this. This is a real life situation. So I mean, it's news. So I wanted to cover it, and I'm glad we did, but we aren't in the business of talking about the real life shit. We're here to fucking talk about the Iron Sheik's great career and talk about our fucking pro wrestling that we love so fucking much and the entertainment product. And we understand it's entertainment, and that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're going to do for the rest of the episode. But this shit is because people are probably going to go to jail. Like, this is real fucking shit, and it sucks, and it's crazy that it's live and it's news, and that's like one of the biggest things talked about in the world, and it sucks that pro wrestling's put into that, and now there's kind of a light on it. But maybe it's a good thing too, and then maybe bullshit organizations won't be so bullshit. And maybe everything will be a little more professional and shit like this won't happen again. You hope for that.
Yeah.
But it's an unfortunate situation, and I pray for Psycho Stu. And apparently he's up and he's doing all right, and I hope a good recovery, and I hope that fucking brain stays good and everything stays okay and he can fucking get back at it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I'm going to say is that anybody that says that, oh, Psycho Stu deserves the blame, you're stupid.
I don't agree. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and we're in a day and age where everybody can give their opinion, even us schmucks. So everybody is entitled to their opinion. I do not agree with that fucking opinion. Yeah. I understand the flaw and maybe, hey, like maybe try to check and see. But no, I mean, he thought there was an angle going on. He saw a camera. He's at a wrestling show. He thinks it's fun. Nothing he could have done in that situation and nothing he did in that situation warranted that. He didn't deserve that. Nothing, like, he didn't cause that. An ego and bullshit and shit like that caused that. and fucking like frail egos and this whole feeling like a bitch and people having to fucking the show that they're fucking tough and shit like that caused it. Not fucking Psycho Stu, trying to be entertaining for a camera.
So, but yeah, so the person that said Psycho Stu deserves the blame, you're stupid.
Yeah.
I personally know, well, not personally, but I personally think have my reason why I believe you're sticking up for the guy. I can't say it.
Well, it's not just that. Chael is trying to.
Well, Chael's stupid too. Chael's stupid. RVD's a stoner.
I don't want to. This isn't a race thing. This is a fucking human rights thing, and this is a physical abuse thing. This isn't about race. At least it isn't to me. And I'm not here to talk about race. That this show isn't fucking intelligently capable of doing that.
Yeah.
But to me, this is an altercation that should have never happened.
No.
And it sucks that it happened.
He should have never been invited to the show.
And people saying racist shit to Rampage are fucking stupid and all that shit. The internet's stupid and everything's ridiculous. And this is a shitty situation, but hopefully Stu gets better.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Iron Sheik.
Sheiky
baby. I hate to say this so soon after the great Hulk Hogan passed, because R.I.P. Hulk, but I've never heard anybody say it better. Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
He is the man. As far as an after wrestling, like going, him on Howard Stern was fucking hilarious when he would do talk shows and he would like after, and we're going to talk about his whole career, especially Doug, because he's our old school aficionado.
Yeah.
But Iron Sheik is one of the most entertaining personalities to ever grace inside a wrestling ring and outside of it.
Well, and the funny thing about Sheik and the whole thing with Hogan, going back to 1983, Iron Sheik defeats Bob Backlund for the title. Vince McMahon took over his father's territory, and he took it national.
Yeah.
Even after Vince Sr. said, "Please don't do that because you're going to fuck over the promoters." Okay, Dad, I won't, but I'm really gonna. So he does that, and he didn't see Bob Backlund as the guy.
Yeah.
So he's searching around for the guy, and he sees Hulk Hogan, who's not happy in Minneapolis because Vern Gagne is trying to rip him off.
Yeah.
Well, in Hulk's words, he's trying to rip him off. I don't know what kind of a businessman Vern Gagne was. Okay. So they make a deal for Hulk Hogan to come over, and he's going to be the guy. Well, they need to get the title off Backlund. So they have Iron Sheik the day after Christmas, 83. Nobody here was a thought yet. Well, I mean, Sharon was a teenager, but she's all the way over there. But so day after Christmas, 83, Iron Sheik versus Bob Backlund for the title, and Iron Sheik wins it.
Yep.
January 23rd, 1984. You got this guy Hulk Hogan coming in. They originally advertised it as Bob Backlund, but Bob Backlund was injured. Hulk comes in, wins the title. Now, according to Sheik, Greg Gagne has tried to call bullshit on this, but I think a lot more people believe Sheik because Greg Gagne Greg Gagne has been known to be full of shit as well.
Yeah.
Like Greg Gagne still says that he trained The Undertaker at the WCW power plant. Greg Gagne wasn't part of the WCW power plant until 1993, and Undertaker was already 3 years into his career at WWE at that point. Yeah. So
we know that's bullshit.
Yeah. So I kind of believe Sheik. Sheik apparently was offered, I think it was 100,000, either 100,000, 200,000, or 500. He was offered a six-figure amount by Vern Gagne. He goes, and I'm going to get into so much trouble for this. The wrestling coach of Vern Gagne, he offered me a substantial amount of money. He go to break the Hulk Hogan's leg. but I couldn't do it because I was loyal to the McMahons. For anybody and everybody I just offended with that impersonation, I apologize. But it's going to come a few more times. But apparently he was offered a substantial amount of money to break Hogan's leg, but he couldn't do it because he's a businessman.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the like more famous Sheik stories. I mean, there's hundreds of them. But Sheik is one of those guys, and his career started in the 70s.
Yeah.
All right.
1972.
Yeah. Trained by Vern Gagne. By the way, he was an Olympian. He was an Olympic power lifter.
Yeah.
Okay.
From Iran.
Yeah, from Iran. But I believe Iran boycotted the Olympics at that time.
I believe so.
He actually didn't get to go. Somebody can correct me on this if they want to, if they see it in the chat room. But so he was going to be an Olympian. He was going to be in the Olympics representing Iran. Then he gets trained, and you know the gimmick with the Persian clubs. The gimmick with the Persian clubs and you know doing this and all that. That became part of his gimmick. So then he took it, Mid-South. They always did the Persian Club Challenge. I remember on an episode, Paul Ellering trying to break it.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it. This is back before Paul Ellering was even the manager of the Road Warriors.
That's crazy.
Before the Warriors even got into the business.
Really?
Yeah. Paul Ellering was a tremendous wrestler in his own right before he became a manager. So they had a situation there. He wrestled in all the territories. He was, Puerto Rico. He was in Georgia. He was the national television champion. Ended up dropping it to one of your favorites, Ronnie Garvin.
Yeah.
So he's been all over. Now, a lot of people most remember him for the WWF run.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I remember him most of it, but I do know like some of the other stuff because I've seen it.
Yeah.
And he even had the run in WCW. And which was legendary in itself because he was getting past the point where he couldn't work anymore, and WCW was always touting about the wrestling of the future.
Yeah.
And so he came in because they brought him in specifically, I think, to work with Sting.
Yeah.
And he had that match. We reviewed it a few weeks ago, the match at the Clash with Ranger Ross. And he had the few matches, and then they realized they're like, oh my God, this guy's horrible. So they kept him at home. They just sent him home. But they paid him because guaranteed money. So they paid him the $100,000. They were going to pay him the $100,000 for the year. His contract rolled over because back in those days, you were supposed to give somebody a 90-day contract or a 90-day notice saying, hey, your contract's going to roll over. We're either going to renew it, terminate it, or we can renegotiate and try to get more money or whatever. They never sent Sheik the 90-day notice. So his contract rolled over without anybody ever contacting him. So when his contract rolled over, they're just like, fuck. Like, we don't want to pay this asshole another $100,000 for, another year because he sucked.
Yeah.
So they brought him into TV to just have him do jobs. And like, he was even sucking doing the jobs. And they're like, all right, well, maybe he'll quit. And they said to him, Sheik, do you want to quit because we're jobbing out? He goes, fuck no, I can. That's $100,000. I'll take the 100,000. They're like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So they had to make him fucking sit at home again, and this time they actually remembered to take him off the contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's like the big WCW story.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
Well, the big WWF, right? Story. Or were they 3 letters by then?
3 letters by 82.
Because my earliest memory is Sheik, and you can talk about his, starting out there after this, but I always remember, because I remember, didn't you have the Greatest Managers DVD?
Yeah.
And I remember they had that Arnold Scullin. Wasn't that his name?
Yeah, he was Backlund's manager.
Yes. But they show that moment of him throwing in the towel when Sheik's got him in the clutch. And that's such a big moment. And Backlund always fights and he always battles, and he's been champion for 5 years at this point?
Yeah, he won the title in 78.
So he's been the champion for a long time. Kids have gone into school. It's a Roman reign.
Yeah.
Bigger than that. And, and Sheiky Baby's got him in the clutch, and he's kicking ass, and Backlund can't get out, but it looks like he might fight, and Scullin throws in the towel. And that was such a cool moment. And wrestling hasn't really been able to replicate that in a great way. You've had towel throwing since, but nothing meant as much as that right there in that moment.
Yep.
I remember when they tried to recreate it when he beat Brett for the title.
Yeah.
And they had Helen, Brett's mother, throwing the towel because Owen tricked her into doing it.
Yeah. And they've had little thing like with MJF and Cody in AEW too.
Yeah.
When he threw in the towel.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's the biggest, this guy's going to turn on this guy. You knew it the whole time. But yes, and that moment is a huge moment, and Sheik wins the title, and you have a bad guy champion again, which didn't happen back then a lot, and now you have
anti-hero.
An anti-hero, but he's a bad guy. Sheik was a straight-on heel, and he was the perfect transition for me for Hogan.
Yeah,
and he was the best guy to drop it to Hogan, and that's still a fun match to watch. That's a good match.
Yeah. And that entire event is available on Peacock for WWE's Old School. So while Peacock still has all that content, you might want to hurry up and start getting and watching all that stuff.
Get on that shit.
Yeah, that's another story for another day.
Yeah. Which we still got to sign up for that ESPN. But anyway, another big thing too, Sheik actually had one title defense in that whole 28 to 30 days that he was champion. He actually did defend the title once against Tito Santana. So Tito Santana is Iron Sheik's only successful title defense.
Now, I have a question.
Sure.
Did Bob Backlund drop the title to Iron Sheik so Iron Sheik can drop it to Hogan?
The legend has it, yeah.
So
because Vince wanted to go national, and I don't think he could go national with Backlund. Vince Sr.
hero.
Yeah, Vince Sr. wanted Backlund to still be champion. Hogan tells the story that Vince Sr. was trying to kibosh the whole thing at Madison Square Garden, and Vince Jr. said, "I'm in charge of the company now. Fuck off, Dad." And then
both title matches were at MSG, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that was that was January 23rd, 1984.
Did he have any big defenses before Hogan?
Tito Santana.
After that, though?
No.
That's it?
No, as far as I know, he only defended the title once, and it was against Tito. And then he entered the feud because they turned Sergeant Slaughter babyface.
And they started.
So instead of him being the tough drill instructor, he was the well, that was a cheek clencher. He was the whatchamacallit, the lovable, patriotic drill instructor. Because at that time, G.I. Joe was becoming a thing.
Would you say Sheik was never really a top guy except for in that moment, in that transition to get Hogan the belt?
In that transition, yes.
He was
That
never
was
a
the
face
only
either, right?
Huh?
He was never a babyface.
How the hell are you going to turn him babyface?
There's something lovable about him.
Well, yeah, in his older years.
Even though he's being incredibly problematic.
Yeah. But no, he was never really, I mean, yes, he was a top guy, for that moment, but they basically just needed somebody to just pass the thing on to Hogan. Because like I said, he moved right on into that issue with Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
And then Hogan, I think, was working with
Andre? No, not yet.
not Andre. I think that's when Piper first came in.
Because we still had some years before Boss Man and shit, right?
Yeah. I was like 4 years before Boss Man.
Hell yeah. My other biggest memory of Sheik is with Sergeant Slaughter. Wasn't he Mustafa, Colonel Mustafa?
Colonel Mustafa.
When Slaughter when defected, that whole fucking gimmick with Slaughter being a bad guy and Iran in influencer or something like that, right? Or
Iraqi sympathizer is what they called it.
Okay. I butchered that, but yes, he was a bad guy, and he was going against Hogan. He got the title off Warrior. This is 92 or 3?
91.
And you get the Hogan match, and a lot of people don't like that, and they consider that bad shit. I like the Hogan match at WrestleMania, but Sheik kind of gave credibility to that. A lot more than fucking Slaughter did.
Yeah,
and that was the kind of, he was involved in top shit again there.
Well, and also, too, when you had General Adnan involved, General Adnan, he got brought in when Vince found out that he was the real-life childhood friend of Saddam Hussein. I'm serious. I don't even know if they were childhood friends, but I know they went to the same school.
They were on the same cricket team.
Yeah. They went to the same school. People knew that, although Adnan around that time really wasn't trying to bring it up that much for good reason. But Vince found out about it. Vince is just like, God damn it, pal, you're going to go on television and you're going to be part of this thing. And then, they brought Mustafa. They brought Sheik in as Colonel Mustafa after WrestleMania. And then they were the Triangle of Terror. And it was so funny because then they started the thing with Hogan and they were working mostly Hogan and Duggan. And then Vince wanted to put the match on pay-per-view, but he's like, it's got to be Hogan and Warrior. Which I still think that if Warrior was going to no-show that SummerSlam, you just put Duggan in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the match the match really wasn't that good anyway, but at least because that's the match you were running on the houses.
Yeah.
So it made sense. By the way, Iron Sheik was not really a fan of Ultimate Warrior either. Because, you talked about the Howard Stern thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was, when they first brought him in, Howard and his crew thought it would be funny if they had Sal and Richard Christie
I remember that.
Dress up as guys that Sheik had an issue with.
Yeah.
Because Sheik really didn't like the Killer Bees either. So, they dressed up as the Killer Bees. They had the masks on. I think Richard dressed up as Ultimate Warrior. Sal dressed up as Hulk Hogan. And, they were just fucking with him. Because what they did was they had Gary Baba Booey do his research.
Yeah.
And basically, all right, who all does Sheik have a problem with so we could fuck with this guy?
Well, Sheik was a great rant. And you came up in that era. Now we have podcasts where everybody spills all the beans about everything. all the time, but you were in the era of the buying the shoot interview DVDs, and that's when you got the behind the scenes when the guys would be like, all right, I'm not getting Vince money anymore. I need to make some cash. Time to talk shit about the business. So you would watch the shoot interviews and you would love them. And Sheik is one of the greatest shoot interviewers of all time because he shits on everybody. And he doesn't do it in a Ric Flair way of where it's kind of annoying. He does it in a way to where it's fucking hilarious no matter what. And
because you can't understand him.
And you don't know if he really has an issue. Like I remember on Stern, him and Hogan was there, and he called it like "fuck you, Hulk," and he's talking all this shit, and Hogan's like, "Hey, you were only a top guy for fucking a few seconds, and then you're back to being a jabroni," and they're talking all this shit to each other, and then. Out of the blue, Hogan's like, because Howard's like, all right, Sheik, we got to go. And Hogan's like, I love you. And Sheik's like, I love you, baby. And he's like, I love you too. And they're like, all right, I love you, bye. And then they like settled it right there. And it was so fucking entertaining. And he's just one of the best at talking shit, being entertaining. And even though he says some fucked up shit sometimes, it always feels innocent and it always feels like lovable Iron Sheik just being crazy. And he is truly, and he always has the fucking the shit.
Yeah.
The shit. The head thing on.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know. It's not a turban, is it?
No.
It's more like a bandana deal.
Yeah.
And the pointy boots in the ring that's Sheik, the little curled toe.
Yeah.
That is probably like that's how you know you're watching an Iron Sheik match if you look at the shoes. And is he the greatest worker of all time? No. But did he have a specific style that he could like go and could he put on a really entertaining match? 100%. And he could really like the Backlund match is great. The Hogan match is great. And he's had a few matches like in between and after that it's
the
like
boot camp match with Slaughter.
Yes, that was really good. He was good at putting guys over, but he had this like kind of rugged like brawler type.
It's a good style.
When he was put with Freddie Blassie, that was pretty cool. You know, Blassie was the one that managed him to the title. But like also too, he was very lovable, but unfortunately there was one guy who did not really like working with it. Sheik thought it would be a good idea one night to fuck with Andre, and it wasn't. So I don't know like all the specifics. All I know is that he went up to Andre and said, "Now, Andre, don't beat me up too much. You're too rough," or whatever. So Andre, I don't know what he had to eat beforehand.
Oh my God.
Andre trapped Sheik in a corner for 10 minutes one night and just kept farting. Andre, you're shitting all over me. Knock it off. God damn, what the fuck? Sorry, boss. You said I hurt you too much. Farts can't hurt.
Oh my God. That should have been on the cartoon.
It's going to be a short.
It was just...
Now, the man also worked WrestleMania 1.
Yes.
Right? With Nikolai.
With Nikolai against the U.S. Express, Mike Rotunda, and Barry Windham, who, by the way, trivia note here, Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham were the ones that were supposed to get the Real American song.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It was recorded.
I didn't know that, yeah.
It was recorded for Eric. Probably didn't. It was recorded for them.
I'm glad you said.
Yeah.
It's good information.
Yeah. It was recorded for them.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they weren't around long enough to get it.
Yes.
So they gave it to Hogan.
And Sheik is somebody of his time and of his era. And like you watch WrestleMania 1 and you got the Soviet flag and his flag. And I'm glad that wrestling's age, even though we tried to do it with Cena and Rusev not that long ago, but I'm glad that we're like, and you still got your foreign heels, but it's more nuanced, like in a Gunther way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where it's not all about like, I'm defending my country. Fuck the USA. Like you're chanting USA at them. And it's not all about the patriotism. And even though I do think a little bit of patriotism is a great thing, I also don't always, and like I said, I'm not here to talk world shit and politics, but to always have to hate like the enemy because they're from somewhere else is kind of problematic. You can come up with more nuanced storylines to hate a heel than that. But for their time, that was the bread and butter that especially the WWF was founded on.
Yeah.
I mean, Hogan would go up against a big, foreign, he would go up against white guys too from the USA and stuff like that.
John Studd, King Kong Bundy,
Boss Man,
like Paul Orndorff, Piper. No, Piper was never from Scotland. Piper was from Canada.
Yeah. So it wasn't, but back then in Sheik's time, that was kind of the thing, and it's like he is like Iranian, right? And
yes,
he is like, so he is the heel, and you got to cheer against him, and whether that ages well or not, that's the way it was back then, and that's the way the wrestling promoters booked, and people were entertained by that, and Sheik did an entertaining job at being a good bad guy in the ring. And his style was so good of, like I said, a brawler, but also he would chain wrestle too.
Yeah. Well, he was the original human suplex machine, right?
Yeah.
Like he had like all the versions of the suplex. And now if I say that he's the original human suplex machine, Taz might come after me with a lawsuit. But
which, by the way, that AEW tribute was amazing.
Yeah, I'm so glad they did that. He deserved. I'm not a big fan of him, but I am so glad they did that for him. That they appreciate him enough to do that.
Yeah, AEW really are the good guys. Like in this whole thing of professional wrestling, and I'm not going to get into the whole, I'm not going to put a heel in a face as far as WWE in AEW, but I am. AEW is the baby face. If you think I enjoy WWE's product more, I really do. But if you're thinking of the corporation, you're talking Starbucks, Walmart, McDonald's, LLC versus the mom and pop selling a damn good cup of coffee. Just trying to get, and sometimes the coffee sucks. Sometimes it's a current Jericho match or something like that. Or sometimes it's something bad. But sometimes it's a great cup of coffee. Sometimes it's an Osprey match. And it's a great, and that's kind of what it is. You got your mom and pop versus even though the mom and pop guy's rich as fuck too. So really it's too corporate. But still, at the end of the day, AEW really are the baby faces. And not the WWE. I don't think WWE's evil or nothing like that. But as far as, guys just trying to put on, it's not all about the money would be AEW's slogan, I think. And I think Tony's proved that because he spent a lot and not made a lot. And that's kind of a double-handed compliment insult. So,
AEW, I'm glad they're going to these small venues because it feels more.
Yeah, it's great.
For them.
It's great. And it gives it ambiance. Because when they were doing the big arenas and people weren't showing up, it looked bad on TV. Yeah. It looks intimate when you're in those ballrooms with the fucking big balcony and Tony Storm can come do her shit. Like they've been using that in creative settings and doing cool stuff with that. And the arena's always packed because it's small seats, and it always looks great on television.
And keep the
it's
big
one of their better
decisions.
When I talk about why AEW's gotten better over the past year and a half, that's one of the reasons.
Yep.
And that them scaling down was a very smart idea. And it was, and they still do. They still filled fucking what? How many for All In? A lot, right? 60 something.
Yeah, I think they did over 60,000 or 40,000
for the Texas show.
Yeah,
I think it was 50. I'm not 100% sure. I do know they did about 20,000 for Forbidden Door.
Yeah, so they can still sell tickets to the big events and shit, and I think they're doing well.
And I hope they move to Max for pay-per-view. That would be huge.
Yeah. They need to give them away on Max. They need to sign $1 billion deal like WWE.
Yeah, so we only have to pay for the streaming service to get the pay-per-views.
Well, because right now, if we're talking an economic value, I mean, it's not all about money and shit. But if you want to be an AEW fan, it's a lot cheaper than being a WWE fan.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 12 pay-per-views a year, because they're doing 12 now, right? Or 11?
What, AEW?
Yeah, because they're almost going monthly.
Yeah,
think they
almost.
do
I don't even know like what months they're not even doing paper.
So
I think January is the only one they don't.
And all those are like $50, right?
Yeah.
So that it gets to be a lot, and that's where you. But also, you just have to have. You got to do that, and you got to fucking have YouTube TV or cable or one of those things to have TV to watch the television product. That's to be an AEW.
Or even just Max, because they stream it on there too.
That's what you have to do to be an AEW fan.
Yep.
If you want to be a WWE fan, full on, you got to have YouTube TV or cable or whatever for Hulu Live or whatever the fuck. Well, Hulu's gone now. YouTube TV, or cable, or you have to have that if you need that if you want to watch SmackDown and NXT. You have to have Netflix for Raw because you got to watch Raw. And then for right now, you got to have Peacock if you want to watch some events. But now you're gonna $30 a month for this new
the new ESPN.
So you have to have multiple different services to watch all the product.
It's 4 different streaming services.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it is expensive to be a wrestling fan. Now, I remember back when you and I went to that TNA show.
Yeah.
And I took like $140, I think, in my pocket with me. And I'm like, we might be able to get a couple of nice things. And we got more than a couple nice things because basically everything that like they were selling was all just for like $20.
Yeah.
Like, you got autographs. You get to meet Brooke Tessmacher. I got to meet the Hebners. We got the picture taken with Jeff Hardy. I couldn't get in the fucking ring.
I got beer splashed on me by James Storm.
Yeah, it was a banner night for, all that. Like, if you wanted all that stuff to happen in WWE, you'd have to fork over like $5,000.
Oh yeah, you're not getting back. I mean, if you can afford the front row ticket, Punk might take a picture with you or sign something after the show.
Yeah,
after he wins this match. But that's about it. You're not getting that kind of treatment, and you're gonna have to fork over a lot more money. That's why it's like it is the Triple H, and I understand the Renaissance era. The product's really good. It is also the cash grab era. It's also to bring celebrities in and bring it and all this the shit that I don't necessarily. It can be done well, the celebrities, but it can be done stupidly, and Travis Scott's one of those.
Yeah,
like you don't want to do that too much. I think they're doing it too much. I think that the tickets are obviously high. You can get the cheap seats are still kind of cheap, but WWE is really trying to get that bread while it's hot, and you can't really blame them because it's fun hearing them talk about it. It's the great hottest era of all time. We're making the most money. You're not thinking about because I'm fucking giving it to them.
Yeah,
but still, you are happy for them at the end of the day. But that's why I said AEW is just trying to make a good product,
right?
And WWE is too. And this is the hottest. Wrestling's really good right now, and WWE is really good right now.
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah,
it is very good, and SmackDown's going to be good tonight, even though I'm probably going to bed. But
tomorrow is the Clash of.
No, that's Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Okay.
Because it's going to be on in the afternoon. Most people don't have to work Monday anyway because Labor Day.
Yeah, oh, that's right. It's Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, which is why the pay-per-view. Which is why the PLE is on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back about Sheik, because we lost all our viewers in the chat room when we started talking about the current product. Like as far as Sheik goes, he was one of those guys, and like You don't remember back in like the early like 2000s and all that, they would still have like the legends come in and like remember the gimmick battle royal from WrestleMania 17.
The gimmick battle royal is one of his better performances as well because he comes to the final 2.
No, he won.
Yeah,
he won the match, and I just remember him walking to the ring.
but you remember the spot when he won it?
Yeah,
explain it to him.
So, Brother Love is eliminated by Sergeant Slaughter.
Yes.
Sergeant Slaughter is eliminated by Hillbilly Jim. Iron Sheik eliminates Hillbilly Jim. Wins the match. Okay, cool. He's celebrating. Sergeant Slaughter then comes in and they trade shots where they're not even connecting with one another. And then he puts Sheik in the Cobra Clutch. Sheik doesn't even go down. Sheik just falls out of the ring.
It was so funny. That gimmick, I mean, that's considered the greatest WrestleMania of all time to a lot of people. And that added to the fun value of it.
Yeah.
Because you had so much good shit on that WrestleMania, and that was fucking hilarious. And the fact that they used the word gimmick, because I mean, they weren't, Vince wasn't doing that. Like how they are now, where they peel back the curtain and Stephanie McMahon's talking about, you know, backstage shit with people and stuff. Like they don't do that back then. And just them saying a gimmick battle royal, and then they had all these old eccentric characters. It was fucking awesome. And he was a big part of that. I mean, he won it. So, I mean, and that was probably his last great victory.
I think that was his last match because I think his health was declining. And by the way, the match was only like 3.5 minutes. It was like the fastest battle royal ever.
Yeah.
And
how many people were in it?
I think 20.
Okay.
I mean, there were quite a few. Like Earthquake was in it. Tugboat was in it. Sergeant Slaughter, Hillbilly Jim, Duke the Dumpster Droese, Repo Man, Jim Cornette was in it. Brother Love, the Gobbledygooker, Kamala, Kimchi, the Bushwhackers.
They're all great gimmicks.
Michael Hayes was in it.
It's funny. Cornette's gimmick was just being himself.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So Cornette tells the story about how he was going to be in Houston because he was bringing all the OVW guys in. Yeah. And he was talking to Bruce Pritchard about it. And Bruce is like, yeah, we got this gimmick battle royal coming up. I'm going to be in it because, you know, it's Houston. It's my hometown. So I'm going to be in it. And Cornette's just like, you know, why don't you let me be in there? And then you and I could just throw potatoes at each other. You know, the hard right hands. That's what they call potatoes.
Yeah.
Throw potatoes at each other the entire time. And Pritchard's like, we're actually looking for more people to be in this. Do you actually want to be in? And he's like, yeah, sure. Why not? He goes, I'll get paid more.
Yeah.
And so he was in. Nikolai Volkov was in there. I might be forgetting a couple other ones, but I'm not. I don't think so. But yeah, it was such a fun match. And Iron Sheik coming. And by the way, they brought back Gene Okerlund and Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah.
And that's when Bobby accidentally called Gene Tony Schiavone.
That's funny.
He's like, what do you think, Tony? And Gene's like, what? And like you can hear JR go, that's Mean Gene. Oh, sorry. And like Iron Sheik's walk into the ring, and Bobby Heenan goes, yeah, by the time Iron Sheik gets to the ring, it's going to be WrestleMania 38.
That's funny as fuck.
But that was a cool moment, and that was a cool moment for Sheik that he was able to get like one last big victory. Unfortunately, like his life really kind of like turned, and I think he was still kind of doing independent bookings, but I think after 2003 he stopped because unfortunately in 2003 his daughter was murdered.
Yeah, that's a sad situation.
It's a very sad situation, and he never really recovered.
Well, yeah, I mean, fuck.
But also too, I think that's also what brought like a lot of the bitterness out in him. So he kind of turned that as like he's a miserable old fuck, and he was able to use it for entertainment purposes.
To an extent, I think he was just an eccentric guy anyway. But he was fucking hilarious, And a lot of people don't even know Sheik from the ring, and they just know him from like the radio and shoot interviews and stuff. And he's one of the. I remember back in the day, me and my friends and stuff, when we would want to get a laugh, we would like look at Rock promos or whatever.
Yeah.
Or more Stone Cold than Rock. We would look at Stone Cold promos, stuff like that would make us laugh. Iron Sheik's one of those that it's like when you want to smile, you just type in Iron Sheik on YouTube and some of his shit comes up. And it's like for comedians too, but like for wrestlers, if you want to like get a good smile on your face, you pull up Sheik stuff and he just starts fucking going off about Hulk Hogan, and it's fucking amazing. And there was and RIP to both of them.
Yeah.
And honestly, he doesn't get enough credit for launching Hulkamania.
No,
because he really, even though I know it was already going in the AWA, and Vern already kind of had a cap on it a little bit, and the stuff against Bockwinkel, and I do think Hulkamania was getting launched and stuff, but it's not till he beat Sheik for the title where it was fucking explosive and it became a big deal. And then you get Rock and Wrestling, not too long after that.
Right. One of the funny stories, and like it's funny, but it's not. But when him and Duggan got pulled over on the pike, on the New Jersey Turnpike. By the way, they were feuding with each other at the time. Well, Duggan was mainly feuding with Nikolai, but he was also working matches with Sheik, and they got pulled over. They got pulled over for speeding, and they had some, recreational drugs in the car. And Vince found out about it because they were going to start Duggan on this heavy push.
Yeah.
He was going to be, the next big baby face behind Hogan. Yeah. Along with Steamboat. And I remember I heard that Vince asked Sheik, he goes, Sheik, what the hell are you, what are you guys doing with each other? You're feuding on television.
Yeah.
Why are you riding together? Well, Duggan's got himself some damn fine drugs.
You're really milking the accent tonight.
Yeah.
I thought that
That's
was
like
gonna
another
be
reason why we lost viewers in the chat room.
Yeah. It is
I don't think it's been
I don't
consistent.
know what the fuck it is. You might just be like a pissed off white dude.
It's probably what it is.
I mean, that is what you are.
Yeah,
but
no, that was like the whole thing. It's
amazing.
Yeah, and then obviously Sheik got fired. Duggan got fired for a little bit.
She got fired.
They brought Sheik back in '88.
Yeah.
But they brought him back mostly to do jobs, which he did not want to do.
But I mean, he was already starting to kind of look like he can't walk. What was that? When was that clash we did with Flair and Steamboat?
89. So that was April 89.
Yeah. So about a year. Yeah. He was, I remember watching that and being like, oh, she can't go no more. And that match was like a minute for a reason, excuse me. But that match was like a minute. It looked like he could barely walk, and it looked like he was getting old then. And I know he would go on to live longer than that, but I mean, it was looking like he couldn't wrestle as much. Because when you look at the Backlund match, he's a fucking prime specimen ready to go.
Yeah.
And
he was still doing the clubs.
Yeah.
The Persian clubs. What?
He was a strong guy.
Yeah, the clubs
Yeah.
I don't even know what all I see are Eric's, not even his eyes, but I see a reflection in his glasses. It scares the hell out of me when he does his show in the dark. We don't even know if he's wearing clothes right now.
It would pop me if he got up and he wasn't.
He's showing off that butt wax. And the SpongeBob tattoo.
He's coming to get you, Doug.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts on Sheik.
He is one of the most entertaining heels of all time. It was hard to, even though he was Iranian and he was supposed to be the foreign bad guy heel, you couldn't help but kind of have a soft spot for him.
Yeah.
And especially when he came back, remember when he managed the Sultan?
Yes.
Which was Rikishi.
That was a terrible run, but
it was a horrible run, especially because you had Iron Sheik and Bob Backlund, managing this guy together.
Yeah. And the thing was that he didn't have a tongue, right?
Yeah. He didn't have a tongue, so he couldn't talk. That's why he had the fucking muzzle thing on.
Which WWE probably wish Rikishi had that now.
Yeah. And
especially when Jey Uso loses a match.
And the thing is that like they put Sheik with him, but then they realized they couldn't really understand Sheik's promos.
Yeah.
Because he was getting older. So they had Backlund do it. And then Backlund's just like, why the fuck am I a manager? Like, I could still wrestle.
And it's weird seeing those two together.
Yeah, exactly. But, the funny thing, Iron Sheik always had, like, the like we said, the Persian clubs. And Bob Backlund was the only other person to successfully do the Persian Club Challenge.
Yeah.
So the pair of clubs that he used to pass so Iron Sheik actually gave Bob Backlund those clubs.
Yeah.
Then Bob Backlund was forced to sell them to WWE for their Most Wanted Treasure show. But like Sheik was just he was so good at being a heel, and I always enjoyed his rants.
Yeah.
But his in-ring work, especially in the 80s, like the 80s, he was fantastic because he knew how to get a crowd riled up.
Yeah, he did. Eric, what's your final thoughts on Sheik?
I mean, I didn't watch a lot of him, but I did watch some stuff today, and yeah, he can really get the crowd fired up, and he does have that heel to him, and he really did, and he was good on the mic, and a legend in this business, and rest in peace to him.
Yeah,
very well said. My final thoughts. I think that this is a compliment. This isn't an insult on it. This is a big compliment. But I think that Iron Sheik is the greatest transitional champion of all time.
Yeah.
Because especially for the WWE or WWF at the time, you went from one great historic title run that everybody loved and super over babyface to the future of the business that, fucking, like we've said in the past a few weeks ago, the reason we're doing the podcast and shit.
Yeah.
And the reason wrestling still exists to this day. Like, he fucking went from Backlund, who was great for a great territory. He was the great last territory champion, to let's give it to the guy that's going to bring it into the millennium. Like, Sheik was the transition to that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot needs to be said for that. I think he's the greatest transitional champion of all time, and it's not a knock calling it. There's been a lot of transition, and there's been great transitional champions where it's like they're not meant to have the title for a long time, but it's a pretty fun run. Jey Uso recently had a good run, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong. I mean, Gunther's last run was kind of transitional. That's okay for it to be that way, and you can't always be a few year run. It can't always be fucking a Roman Reigns run. So I think a lot has to be said for that. And I think he's one of the funnest characters in wrestling too.
Yeah.
You guys want to know what we're doing next week?
That would be nice.
In honor of, AEW, they've been doing the 2300 and all that. Yeah. They've been doing you just shook your head, but your face scared me too.
Yeah, because when that came, anyway, what are we doing next week?
Next week, did you hear that, Eric? Did you hear him rip ass?
Oh no.
No. Well, maybe it didn't pick it up. That was fucking amazing. But next week in honor of AEW, just because I said AEW didn't mean you had to shit. But them doing the ECW arena and all that, we're gonna do individually all of our lists, top 10 ECW matches.
We're each gonna have a list.
Yes.
Nice.
Huh? ECW.
You spell that ECW.
top 10 ECW matches of all time. How do you spell it?
ECW.
Okay, thank you. It's going to be a fun list.
Yeah.
Yep. And tomorrow night.
No, that's not tomorrow night. That's next week.
Huh?
He means the cartoon show.
Oh, the cartoon show.
Go ahead.
Daniel's supposed to throw that to me. Not the pair of eyes in the hat. We can't fucking see the rest of them.
The floating head.
Sorry, I'll have better light next week.
I think you look sexy. I don't care.
Well, yeah, because you can't see them.
Well, your reflection off your head kind of fucking bounces off a little bit. I can see it.
All right.
The only thing you can see is my hat.
All right. What are you doing tomorrow, bud? Besides our fantasy football draft.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
By the way, we'll be streaming that on the Dizzleverse. Check that out.
So tomorrow night on the cartoon show, it will be Animated Hour of Power, which is our live show. This week on the Animated Hour of Power, we have Celebrity Deathmatch versus Pee-wee's Playhouse, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure versus Speed Racer, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee versus Braceface, which are two girl cartoons, but I don't know if I should be ashamed to say this or not, but they're actually both pretty good.
You're a fan?
Again, I don't know if I should be ashamed to say it, but yeah. And the main event tomorrow night is Pokemon versus Teen Titans.
Ooh.
So that is Animated Hour of Power. Of course, Animated Showdown, which will be this upcoming Wednesday, which is when it'll drop. It actually gets recorded tomorrow night. Samurai Pizza Cats versus Camp Candy. Huckleberry Hound Show versus Adventure Time. A Pup Named Scooby-Doo versus the Flintstone Kids. And the main event is Courage the Cowardly Dog versus the Muppet Babies. So we got some big matches coming up this week.
Yep.
And for everybody, check out Eric's sports show, Unscripted Sports, the best damn sports show on planet Earth, where my man talks all the good shit. And absolutely, great program. And
college football starting and NFL starting this week.
Yes, sir. And a huge announcement for the Wrestling Through the Years: Settle It in the Ring is coming back.
Oh,
in a couple weeks. We used to do it on the Blog Talk Day. I don't think we've done it on YouTube. Our debate show, our debate program, we will have several topics, and we will be debating, and we will be talking shit about about what we love, wrestling. And we're gonna have a judge, and we'll do points and the whole deal. It's gonna be a great time. Settle it in the ring. Fun. So we'll see everybody in a couple weeks for that. We'll see everybody next week for our top 10 ECW matches. Love you guys.
I can't wait.
Eric, don't forget to do the shorts.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see.
I have to schedule Teams Combined tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah, don't forget to do that too.
Yep, I'll do that as soon as I can.
Okay.
All right, brother.
Later, guys.
Later.
Stay safe.
You stay safe.